Soundbytes. Quick clips, long-term learning.
All right, our last case for today. Andrew, you're going to take the reins here. You had a really interesting case recently, so let's go through your case and how ultrasound helped you with this management.
Yeah, so I'm sure, a little bit of spoilers looking at the chest x-ray here, but this is a young patient who came in with a history of some cardiac history as an infant, also some cardiac history in the family, coming in with just some almost musculoskeletal sounding left shoulder pain, but because of the family and personal history, came into the emergency department. Hemodynamically stable, again, 120 over 80, heart rate 65, everything looks great. And, a chest x-ray was ordered from triage, and this is what we see here.
Mm-hmm.
So
you noticed, but he had left-sided symptoms, you said?
Yeah. So he had just left shoulder and a little bit referred kind of like just medially to the shoulder here, like just below the clavicle on the left side there.
Yeah.
No dyspnea, nothing else like that.
So I'm sure they called you from the waiting room, or the radiologist called you and said, you got to look at the chest x-ray.
Yeah, the x-ray tech actually ran over out of breath and said he's got no lung on the right side.
Okay. All right, so no lung on the right side. So what do you look like when you went to go see him?
Yeah, so we told our charge nurse to bring this patient to a room. Mm-hmm. Immediately hooked him up to monitors, and we walk in together and explain that we have this finding here on this chest x-ray. And our concern is that you have a large pneumothorax and that we need to put in the chest tube.
Yep. Just because at first glance, of course, it looks like there's no lung markings on this right side. There's maybe a little bit of a tension physiology with all this left side of all the mediastinal structures are sort of shifted over to the left hemithorax. No lung markings here. So what did you do next?
Yeah, so we talked to the patient about doing a chest tube and was hesitant at first, as somebody had told this patient in the past that they have a small lung and that they should try to avoid a chest tube, which was hint number one, that something may not be as it seems. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing was that this patient was very stable and well apparent with no reported dyspnea, standing 100% on room air. Eventually we discussed with the patient about doing a chest tube. They had consented, and just to make sure everything looked okay, I went with the ultrasound also to do some teaching for our medical students to look for, compare lung sliding for what would be normal lung and a pneumothorax, and then also just, look over the spot where I'd go for the chest tube just to make sure there's nothing, no structures or anything else I would hit.
All right, so let's go to your ultrasound. So you started doing an ultrasound. You said you were just kind of trying to teach the medical student and show them lung sliding and things like that. So this is the left side.
Yeah. So we were in the process of getting set up for a chest tube, and in the meantime, here's the left side here. It looks like normal lung. We have lung sliding there. Again, not super deep. I don't see any significant bead lines. Nothing crazy here.
Yep.
We have an image of it as well.
Okay.
We see our sandy shore, right? So we see some where the lung parenchyma is. There's some dots. It looks more like a sandy beach, and then the waves, which are the tissue, the subcutaneous tissue and soft tissue there.
Yeah.
That looks like waves hitting the beach.
Yeah, waves on the beach or seashore sign. So normal left side, which we would expect, right? Because that's what looks normal in the chest x-ray. Mm-hmm. Then you go to the right.
And there's a little bit of movement here with the probe, but you also notice that this doesn't quite look like the barcode sign that we think about.
Right.
There looks like some, especially you see here towards like the left edge of the screen here, it looks like there is lung parenchyma that's moving. And as we'll see later, that wasn't just the only finding, but yeah, this did not look like a true barcode sign, and this is what raised suspicion for me that something else is going on.
Right. So the chest x-ray looks like 100% pneumothorax, right? So you would really expect that barcode sign or stratosphere sign the whole way down. So that means that this pattern you'd have in the soft tissues, if the lungs are not attached and not moving and those layers are not attached, you'd have this pattern all the way down, but you have that clear demarcation as well with that pattern change at the pleural line. So then we go to live imaging.
Yeah, and so this is where I brought up the curvilinear just so I could see more lung fields at the same time. And so I was, putting the probe, I put it posteriorly, I put it laterally, and I believe this is one of the more posterior images. And, patient wasn't breathing that fast, but we see here lung sliding.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so let's focus our attention here, especially at the end of the clip, right? Kind of out. See some lung sliding here, side to side. So yeah, that looks like normal lung sliding there. So I'm sure you're pretty confused at this point.
Yeah, at this point, things were not quite making sense. You have an X-ray showing what looks like a massive pneumothorax, maybe with tension physiology shifting to the left, but you have a 100% stable patient talking to you in full sentences, and it also had been told something about a small right lung, and so things are not quite what they seem.
Right. And so what other findings do you see that were suggestive against pneumothorax here too?
Yeah, so here is, I unfortunately took the probe off too early, but you can see here that there is lung sliding, there's B lines, there's A lines. Again, A lines not necessarily excluding pneumothorax, but this looks like a normal lung ultrasound.
Right. Yeah. So some B lines that are present here, a couple that come into view, probably this is the best example of one, but that arises from the pleural line, and you cannot have those if you have a pneumothorax, as we discussed earlier. So to the donut of truth, you said, right?
Yeah, at this point that was the best decision we had because something wasn't quite lining up. So we went to a CT just without contrast to look at the lungs.
All right, so let's go through your CT here. So we got I think the sagittal image here.
I think the sagittal shows the best, but here we can see, we have the left lung there, we have normal lung parenchyma, everything looks normal there. We see
going through the heart.
We see some lung tissue on the right side, and then here, right around here, you can see it best. Initially, radiology said massive pneumothorax. I discussed the thoracic surgery on the phone at the same time, and they were talking about where to do the chest tube. And our question was, hey, we have this lung sliding, and this is the CT. And so, discussed with the thoracics attending and the radiology attending at the same time that actually this doesn't look like a pneumothorax. This looks like bullae, multiple large bullae. You can see them right here. And in fact, that's why he has lung sliding, because we were actually seeing there's no air in the pleural space. There's no pneumothorax. It's just multiple large bullae.
Yeah, so bullae are just basically within the lung tissue itself, kind of replacing all the alveoli. So the two layers of the pleura are still attached, and that's why we're getting that lung sliding. So I guess you're glad you didn't put a chest tube in here. What are some of the complications you could have encountered?
Yeah, so the main concern is this would have been normal lung, and if we'd put a chest tube in that, even something small like a pigtail, you would have gone into one of those bullae, right, into one of those blebs, and then essentially caused like a bronchopulmonary fistula, and then causing a pneumothorax. And then when that happens, your tube would not be in the pleural space, which would then probably lead to a tension pneumo, and then having to place a second chest tube, which would overall not be good for the patient.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a great job here just recognizing that the clinical picture didn't really fit, and to just take a step back and slow down. You can use ultrasound and other imaging techniques to help with your decision making. So great job.
See physicians or visit mepsono.com.